Omicron is a 2 to 4 player action allowance skirmish game where players will fight against the infected mindless Sims as well as the survivors from other quarantine areas for the scarce precious resources remaining around San Lazaro. Players will start the game by selecting the scenario they want to play and setting up the board according to the map shown. Next, players will take turns placing additional terrain. Once the board is set, players will choose their factions and their characters to play with, and Omicron Protocol is ready to begin. Every round, players will take turns activating one character at a time. Each character can use up to 4 action points, but no greater. The first player, the survivalist, decides to activate Artemis first and tries to take aim at the sim in front of her with her recursive bow. First, check to see if the character is within range. The recursive bow has a range of 2 to 5. The sim is in max range at 5 spaces away, but there is an issue. The wall is in the way. Because walls block line of sight, Artemis needs to move. Each character can take one movement action, walk or run. Walking is a free action and does not take an action point to move a character. If you want to go a further distance, you can run, but you do have to spend an action point to take it. Here, the player only needs to move 3 spaces, so they walk with Artemis. The sim is now in range and there's nothing blocking her shot. Seeing what it takes to kill a sim, the player notices another problem. Sims take 3 damage to kill on a single attack. Artemis's bow only does 2 damage on a single attack, so she can't kill the sim with a normal attack. But don't worry, she can use a special ability called Double Shot, which allows her to take 2 shots as a single attack. And that's exactly what this player does. Removing an action point from the survivalist supply, Artemis takes her double shot. With her first shot, she takes her attack value and rolls that many die. Next, compare your roll to the opponent's dexterity, so Artemis has 3 successes, just enough to do 2 damage. She then takes her second shot, getting 3 more successes, doing an additional 2 damage with a total of 4 damage in a single turn. Because there's no more actions that this character can take, Artemis's turn is over. Certain actions and abilities the characters use will cause noise. Here, Buck has used 3 melee abilities which has caused 3 noise. At the end of every character's activation, you'll check the noise radius and see if any Sims have spotted you. With Buck's noise radius of 3, a Sim is now in pursuit. Just like shown previously, Sims will move and attack just like characters. After all characters or action points have been used, the Sim's activation phase begins. Find the player with the highest noise value, and the opponent will activate the nearest spawn point. Depending on the scenario and the amount of noise that was created, you will spawn that many Sims. Here, with a noise value of 4, only 1 Sim spawns. After you've spawned that Sim, move and attack just like you would have previously. Once all Sims have gone from this activation, remove the noise die and move on to the next highest noise character. If there are 2 characters together on opposite factions, you will go with the highest noise value first. Again, activating any Sims that are required to from the scenario, and then moving on to the next character. After all Sim activation has been done with the noise value, you will then do the end of round spawning. Each spawn point will summon 1 Sim and activate to the closest character. So why should you back Omicron? Well, number 1 is the noise and AI system they have in place, which makes it unique for a skirmish game. The noise system functions whether you're running, doing melee combat, shooting, doing certain special abilities, they all create noise. And the more noise you create, the further around, or what's called the noise radius, that the AI gets attracted to come at you. So if you're creating a lot of noise, or if someone throws a trap near you, which does a huge boom, it feels like the zombie apocalypse is coming towards you. And while they're not zombies, they are kind of mindless murderers that are coming to attack. Which this adds tension to the game, starting from almost the very first round. Unlike a lot of skirmish games, tension really doesn't rise between the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th turn. Number 2, or actually 1.5, is I want to go further into the AI system, or what's called the Sims. The Sims are actually murderous, mindless hordes that are infected in the city that just come out of nowhere. And as you are playing the game, they not only start off on the board, but they start spawning at different spawn points at the end of every round, which are, again, because of the noise system, come attracted to different fighting groups. Not only that, they're extremely hard to kill, so you can't just one-shot them or hopefully take them down over multiple rounds. No, you either have to get them all down in one shot, or you have to stun them multiple times in one round. And if you don't do so, they just keep on moving towards you or closer to you and attacking. So that way, this game already has even more tension because you're trying to get to the different scenario goals, but are having this horde between you and your objectives. Number 3, or really number 2, would be the luck factor in this game. Now, most skirmish games, when there is luck or determination that you use to mitigate dice rolls, you actually have to waste your turn to build those up. But in this game, it's actually inherently built into your rolls. And when I say inherently built, that means that when you roll, no matter if it's for an attack, if it's successful or not, every dice that you roll can be used towards building luck. And the way that works is you have a luck number that's on your character, and it's usually 5+. There are some that are a little bit lower, but when you trade in either failed dice or successful dice to your luck pool, you gain more luck. So each character can hold up to 7 luck that can mitigate 7 rolls by adjusting them either going up or down on the dice roll. So if you roll a 3, use 1 luck, it turns into a 4. And number 4 is the minis. Now, we were sent in this prototype pewter minis, and these are actually pretty detailed. And I can only hope that in the retail version they stick with pewter, or they do a high composite type of plastic which still maintains the detail that's on the prototype pieces. If they do, this game will also have quite a bit of table presence that you won't get in a lot of skirmish type games, because there are a lot of plastic dulled miniatures, such as in Fantasy Flight's Legion. While you do see a mass table set, the detail's a little lacking on it. So if you like what you see here, make sure to check out Omicron on Kickstarter in May, as well as you can check out our other videos on YouTube and Facebook, as well as our live streams and our interviews. You guys, I'll see you next time.